Is really SAP Business One for every business and for every industry?
We have customers across multiple industries, broadly categorizing manufacturing, services, digital natives, e-commerce companies, and so on. But more importantly, we have solutions that also go to micro verticals.
So in short, we can implement SAP Business One for every business and for every industry.
Yes.
Is SAP Business One going to be there for today, tomorrow, and forever?
We have a very strong legacy of about 83,000 customers over a period of last 19-20 years. SAP Business One is here to stay.
So what is the roadmap for the SAP Business One? What are the innovation plan for SAP Business One? What is the next thing coming in B1?
We are enhancing the web client. We are improving the web client's analytics capabilities. We have brought in a UI API framework. We are bringing in AI and automation capability.
How much does SAP Business One actually cost?
Price is a very important aspect for a customer. The cost of ownership is an important aspect of a customer. It is not the only determining factor.
One of the biggest question what a lot of customers ask me, how old is SAP Business One?
Buy SAP in way back in. As we speak today in 2026, we are on 10.0 with 11.0 coming in.
SAP Business One is for today, tomorrow, and forever. Rising strong. Hi. Today we're going to have a podcast with Mr. Mitesh Gandhi. Mitesh Gandhi is SAP Business One Lead for SAP India. He looks after the Indian market for the product SAP Business One HANA. So we're going to ask a lot of questions about this product. We're going to ask him, is SAP Business One going to be here for today, tomorrow, and forever? What are the benefits of SAP Business One? And we're also going to address some of the myths of the market, some of the rumors of the market about SAP Business One. So let's start this podcast with Mitesh Gandhi. Thank you. Hi sir, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
After a long time, long discussion, we are back here again.
Yes.
We've been discussing about this particular podcast for I think more than 3 months now.
Yes, more than that,
Okay.
yes.
So the intent of this podcast is to break a lot of myths what are there about SAP Business One in the market. We've been talking, there are a lot of rumors in the market about SAP Business One, good, as well as few are the bad rumors and some of the myths of SAP Business One. Today I'm going to talk about a lot of about SAP and why SAP, what SAP, how SAP.
Yes, yes.
So how are you, sir?
I'm good. Never been better before. This is a new experience, but I'm enjoying it.
Great, sir, great, sir, great, sir. So my first question to you is very simple and very straight. Is SAP Business One going to be there for today, tomorrow, and forever?
SAP Business One is here to stay. Okay. Now, let's look at it from multiple points of view. We have a very strong legacy of about 83,000 customers over a period of last 19-20 years. The current momentum is also very good. We are adding 10 new customers every day across the world. And there is a very structured future roadmap and a board commitment from SAP for the future of SAP Business One.
Great. This board commitment is a really good, important
Yes.
point.
And more importantly, this is completely a partner-led model. Okay, there are close to about 750 to 1,000 partners who are helping SAP Business One grow in the market. It's a completely partner-led model. Plus, there is all these things put together. We can confidently say that SAP Business One is here to stay for a very, very long time.
Great, sir. So as you mentioned, SAP Business One has a lot of partners. SAP Business One has been, there are a lot of numbers of customers been there for every day. Almost 7 to 8 customers have been, across the world it has been built. So now there has been another take, ki SAP Business One is only for accounting. It's not more than that. Is there any truth behind this?
So SAP Business One is not just for compliance or accounting. It is integrated ERP solution. If you look at the functionality of SAP Business One, it spans across financial accounting, supply chain management, which includes purchase, sales, inventory, manufacturing. It includes a CRM, which includes marketing, sales, post-sale support. It includes a production planning and a material planning system. So if you look at it, it has supply chain management, financial accounting, CRM, plus analytics, plus a lot of various capabilities of the product that makes it a complete integrated ERP solution. Plus, it also works for multiple industries end to end.
Yes.
So whether you take a whether you take manufacturing industry, or you take services businesses, or you take digital natives or e-commerce companies, SAP Business One can actually address most of the business functions of a small to medium enterprise. So it's not just an accounting solution; it's more than an accounting solution. It's a completely well integrated ERP solution aimed at small and medium businesses.
Great, sir. So I meet a lot of customers, sir, as you have already answered the question about it's more than accounting. So a lot of customers ask me, Nilesh, what is the roadmap for the SAP Business One? What are the innovation plan for SAP Business One? What is the next thing coming in B1? So my simple question is, what is the innovation and what is the roadmap planned by SAP?
Let's look at innovation and roadmap from these four perspectives. One is, let us look at what is SAP's commitment towards SAP's Business One in the future. Then let's look at what are the innovations that we are making as we speak. And then let's look at what is the roadmap that we see for SAP Business One. There's a strong commitment from SAP board towards SAP Business One's future. Mr. Thomas Zaurazig, who is our Chief Customer Officer and the member of Executive Board, has clearly posted on LinkedIn that we are investing in the future and the security of SAP Business One, enhancing its integration with the business technology platform to simplify development, and we are expanding the capabilities of the web client. These innovations ensure that SAP Business One continues to grow and adapt to the evolving businesses of the small business.
It's a big statement, sir. That shows the SAP commitments toward SAP Business One.
Yes, and this is a post that is provided on LinkedIn to ensure that not only customers, partners, but even our prospective customers get confidence in the future of SAP Business One.
And it also shows the clarity for the future.
Also, let's look at the various innovations that we are making as we speak on the product. We are enhancing the web client. We are improving the web client's analytics capabilities. We have brought in a UI API framework which helps our partners and our customers to build extensions, industry solutions on the web client. We are bringing in AI and automation capability. We are also bringing in capabilities relating to identity management, lifecycle management, to make the product a lot more robust and secure. We are enhancing the functionality of the product as well across various business functions. And we are also enhancing the compliance capabilities, that is the statutory requirements of the product, regulatory requirements of the product across various countries as well. So this is the kind of investments that we are making into SAP Business One today. And now let's also look at what is the outlook. Version 1 is coming, version 11 is coming soon. As per our roadmap, it is scheduled to arrive in 2027. We also have a published roadmap for SAP Business One in sap.com.
Official
roadmap. And for every product or every version of SAP Business One, we always provide at least 5 years mainstream maintenance. Officially. So under mainstream maintenance, SAP undertakes to provide the support relating to the product, ongoing support relating to the product. So all these things combined together, a very strong statement by our SAP board member towards the future of the product, the kind of investments that we are making into the product and the areas of investments that we are making into the product, and a very strong outlook for the future ensures that SAP Business One is here to stay for a fairly long period of time.
Fantastic, sir. Thanks for the clarity, sir, because that was the biggest question. A lot of customers are asking me about this.
Yes.
Great, sir. So moving on to the next question. So as you've been working for SAP for a longer period, I think more than 7 to 8 years, we want to understand what is the momentum of the business in the Indian market of SAP Business One? What is the momentum of the business across globe? How Business One is working globally and on the Indian market?
Good question. Let's look at some of the facts. It gives you an idea about how we are doing in the global markets and the Indian markets. Um, SAP Business One has today about 83,000 plus customers worldwide. It is available in it. We have about 1.2 million users working across 170 countries. Close to about 50 plus localizations are being developed and supported by SAP, including India.
Including India, yes.
In India, we have close to about 7,500 customers who have purchased SAP Business One in the last
Big numbers,
19 years.
7,500.
Yes, and across different segments, from small customers to medium-sized customers. Many of the small customers who were small when they purchased SAP Business One have used SAP Business One for even 10 years or more and have turned out to become mid-sized or larger enterprises as well. Like I said earlier, there is a very strong momentum that we are facing of SAP Business One at present. Close to every day, close to 10 customers buy SAP Business One worldwide. In India, if we look at it, close to 1 to 2 customers buy SAP Business One every day. Okay. Worldwide, we have about 700 plus partners. And today in India, we have about 70 to 80 plus partners who are implementing SAP Business One and reselling SAP Business One. So there is a very strong numbers that we are looking at as far as SAP Business One is concerned.
Fantastic, sir. So, connecting to this only, I have one more question to you. Is really SAP Business One for every business and for every industry?
So SAP Business One is a single affordable ERP solution that addresses the expanse of most of the business functions of a small enterprise, from procure to pay, from order to cash, production, planning, CRM, a little bit of HR, analytics. Okay, integrating the solution with other products. It all is taken care of in SAP Business One. Again, if you look at it, we have customers across multiple industries.
Okay.
Now, for example, like I said earlier, broadly categorizing manufacturing services, digital natives, e-commerce companies, and so on. But more importantly, we have solutions that also go to micro verticals.
Okay.
Okay. So there are partners, for example, you yourself,
Yes.
who has done into process manufacturing, under process manufacturing, chemicals has been one of your forte, or pharma has been one of your fortes.
Yes.
Right? So not only specific verticals, we have partners who have developed industry solutions and made SAP Business One workable for even micro verticals. So like I gave you an example in manufacturing, there are multiple micro verticals in services, multiple micro verticals in manufacturing that SAP Business One caters to.
Can you name some verticals, like it's like for automotive or chemical or pharma, some of the manufacturing verticals, sir?
So you talk about automotive. We are doing very well in automotive dealerships,
Industry, okay.
automotive components,
Manufacturing, right?
If you look at those as far as automotive, many other discrete manufacturing industries, many process manufacturing industries such as chemicals, API formulations, pharma, many engineering construction industries, engineering construction and project management industries, new age digital native companies who are having e-commerce as their primary business, where SAP Business One works as a very stable and strong backend. So if you look at and if you ask me a question on how many industries, it is not countable. It's not easily countable because there's so many industries where SAP Business One has been catering to for their customers, thanks to our industry solutions by our partners again.
Fantastic, sir. So you mean that I can implement SAP Business One for a trading company, a process manufacturing company, a discrete manufacturing company, and a service company.
Yes.
So in short, we can implement SAP Business One for every business and for every industry.
Yes.
Thank you so much, sir. So now we have spoken about the industry, we have spoken about the roadmap. So now we want to understand the flexibility of the product. Can we implement SAP Business One only for on-premise version, or I can put it on the cloud also? So what is the flexibility of the infrastructure, sir?
SAP Business One can be deployed both on-premise or on partner-hosted cloud. So SAP Business One has multiple flexible options through which you can deploy the product. On-premise at customers, if at customers' premises, or on a choice of cloud hosting by the that is provided either by the partner or the customer. So there are multiple deployment options. Now, one of the reasons why such a mechanism is there is because in India there are certain industries where data privacy is extremely regulated, and they would prefer them. These regulations require them to have the data hosted in India or at their premises. So on-premise option is available there. If they have to be hosted in India, there are a lot of data service providers, data hosting providers where the data can be hosted in India. At the same time, in order to ensure that the data, deployments are easier, even cloud options partner-hosted cloud options are available.
Absolutely.
Because that helps in optimizing the cost, getting the best of the resources at a fraction of the cost, getting the services that is required by the customers, and maintenance, ease of maintenance of the infrastructure. So the partner-hosted cloud option is also available.
So there is a partner cloud, then there is an on-premise version, and I can also have my full-fledged private cloud also.
Yes.
So all these three options are available in
customer
SAP
cloud
Business
also.
One as a product.
Yes.
So I have that flexibility.
Yes, you have the flexibility.
So one of the biggest question what a lot of customers ask me, how old is SAP Business One, and when did it born? How did it come to SAP? So can you just throw some light on that, sir?
So SAP Business One was a solution that was acquired by SAP way back in 2002.
Okay, 2002.
2002 when
24 years back.
24 years back when we released version 1.
Okay.
Since then, it has been an SAP product for the last 24 years. And today we are on version 10.0. So since 2002, we have been progressively releasing newer versions of the product. And as we speak today in 2026, we are on 10.0 with 11.0 coming in 2027, projected to come in 2027.
For last 24 years, SAP Business One was developed under SAP umbrella.
Absolutely. The last 24 years, SAP Business One was developed, maintained, enhanced to what it is today only by SAP.
Super.
And as we speak, we are, like I said earlier, we are serving about 170 countries, more than 1.2 million users, 83,000 customers, and with a very strong roadmap for the future.
Thank you so much.
Very, with SAP Business One has been there for a very long period of time, and would be there for a fairly long period of foreseeable future as well.
So we can conclude that SAP Business One is for today, tomorrow, and forever, rising strong.
Rising strong.
So how does the partner ecosystem works, and how does it benefits the customer? So you have a lot of big partner ecosystem in India and across the world. And I think in India only, I think you must be having almost 70 to 80 partners. So how does this partner ecosystem benefits the whole product structure? How is the whole process is there of the partner ecosystem?
The partner is the recipe of our success and the lifeline of our business, especially SAP Business One. Under the SAP partnership model, SAP builds the product and maintains the product. whereas partner takes care of implementing the solution to the customer, supporting the customer, building industry-based solutions so that it can be provided to more customers within certain specific industries as well. And it can also, so that's why the partner develops the add-on solutions. Not only that, partner also takes a majority chunk of marketing marketing and expanding the footprint of SAP Business One in the market as well. So that is how it works. So there is a role that SAP plays in terms of the product development, product innovation, and statutory compliance of the product, and supporting the product for a foreseeable period of time. And the partners play the role of taking it to the market through implementation, marketing, sales, implementation, and support.
Great. So if a customer wants to buy SAP Business One and he will go to your partner, so what parameters he should look for when he's going to engage with a partner? What do you suggest?
First of all, they have to check whether they are working with an authorized service partner, authorized partner or not. If the customer goes to SAP's website and goes to the partner finder tool, they will find all the authorized partners of SAP and SAP Business One. Now, not only that, when we authorize our partners, we ensure that there is adequate due diligence done on the credibility of the partner, on whether they have the right kind of certifications in place, whether they are capable of implementing the solution or not. Those aspects are taken care of. But when a customer chooses the partner, then apart from these authorizations, a customer should also look at whether their people who are implementing the product are certified, whether they have the partner has the required industry expertise or expertise on implementing solutions to similar industries as the customer, whether the partner has the track record. Do they have, please check the customer references of the partner, and based on all, and also look at things like, implementation methodology, whether the partner has the right kind of implementation methodology or not. And basis all these factors, it is ideal that the customer chooses a partner.
Okay, thank you. I think this will help our audience.
One more thing I wanted to add is, most of the times customers keep only one parameter, that is price, as a parameter to select a partner.
Yes.
Okay.
Very true.
What is the implementation price? What is the support price to select the partner? While price is a very important aspect for a customer, the cost of ownership is an important aspect of a customer. It is not the only determining factor.
Okay.
In the order of priorities, what I mentioned earlier should take precedence over price, and also have price as a factor to evaluate a partner. But if they evaluate a partner only based on price, then they will miss out on many important things that is required for their implementation.
So let's talk about the cost part of SAP. So how much does SAP Business One actually cost? And what are the different components in SAP Business One?
So first of all, costs vary depending on every customer.
I agree.
There is no sticker price.
Okay.
Because every customer might have different circumstances, might require different users, might require different things to implement. So there is no sticker price. However, there are certain common cost components that a customer has to bear when implementing SAP Business One. There is a license cost of on-premise or subscription model. There is an product AMC. There is an implementation cost that is charged by the partner. If the partner is providing a industry solution or for a micro vertical or an add-on solution on SAP Business One, then there is an add-on cost or an industry solution cost. There is implementation AMC cost, which is a cost that is incurred by incurred by the customer for the partner providing support for the various implementation aspects of SAP Business One. Then there is a infrastructure cost. Now, there again, if the customer is buying on-premise licenses, then he may incur hardware cost, or the customer may opt for a partner-hosted cloud option, or the customer may opt for a self-hosted cloud option. So there is an infrastructure slash cloud recurring costs also involved. So these are the broad categories of cost components. But one thing I can say you is most of the SMEs have always found SAP Business One a very viable and an affordable ERP solution for their business.
So for example, if I want to buy 20 users of licenses, so what will be the range, tentative range for the cost involved? What investment we can expect from the customer?
So again, it depends on the partner, it depends on the customer scenarios, number of users. There are so many factors that are involved. But if you take a 20 user standard implementation, it can start from 15 to 20 lakhs onwards.
Great.
Yeah, but again, like I said, there is no
Different
sticker
factors
price.
are involved in that, depending on the
depends
scale,
on
what are the solutions, what are there.
Yes, depends on a lot of factors. But we have seen some of our partners offering 15 to 20 lakh offering to the customers under certain circumstances.
So when we talk about cost, a lot of customers ask me about ROI. So I meet a lot of customers when I show the demo, when I show the cost to them. They ask me, Nilesh, what is the ROI on this? What is the return on investment I'll get? Same question I want to ask you, sir. If a customer implements SAP Business One, he invests 25 lakh rupees or 50 lakh rupees for the product. What ROI he can get in next 2 years?
See, again, before discussing ROI for a customer, it is important for a customer to understand the cost of doing nothing. Now, if a customer is going through certain situations and he is not investing into an ERP solution, there may be certain costs that he may be continuing to incur. For example, because he has not invested in an ERP, he may not be getting his inventory optimization. As a result, he may be incurring inventory carrying cost, or he is not able to manage his production schedules, so he may lose out on his opportunity cost. He may not be able to adhere to certain production orders on time. So there is a cost of delay. As a result, there may be cost of increased shipping, logistics cost may increase. If he is not able to manage his vendors well, then there may be the cost of purchase, increased cost of purchase. So there is always a cost of doing, if you accumulate all these costs, there's always a cost of doing nothing.
I agree to that, sir.
When SAP Business One gets implemented for a customer can typically see benefits, multiple benefits. One is cost reduction. Like I said, if these costs are optimized because of certain tools that the ERP offers, they can see improvement in their inventory carrying cost, their logistic cost, the procurement cost, and many such cost factors. So there is cost reduction that a customer can enjoy. He can benefit from productivity gains from his employees because his employees now are able to do a lot more. They may also get benefits of faster decision making and more accurate decision making, because the data, the reports, analytics is a lot more robust, lot more reliable, right? So there are these benefits that the customers would gain, and hence that would accumulate into a return on investment. In the past, there have been research reports conducted by Nucleus and IDC, and we have seen that in these research reports, customers do get an ROI of anywhere between 10 to 25% per annum.
Very nice.
Yeah. So in effect, they could look at their investment being paid back in 3 to 4 years of time as well. So it's a win-win. benefits to the customer as well as discipline and management, better management of their business.
Great, sir. So investing in SAP Business One is a good idea.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Great, sir. So one more question when I generally get from all the customers. They say, why we have to pay SAP AMC? This is one of the standard question a customer asks me, sir. And also add to that, what are the benefits I will get from the SAP AMC?
SAP Business One AMC is practically an insurance policy for the investments that they have made on SAP Business One. Just imagine a customer investing lakhs and lakhs of rupees on licenses, implementation, hardware, infrastructure of SAP Business One, and they are running the ERP solution, but they're not paying the AMC. What happens is they get stuck to a particular version of the product. Okay, they stop getting the statutory updates, statutory upgrades. Supporting the customer becomes difficult if the product is not on mainstream maintenance. So what happens is, and they will be stuck with an older technology. So because they have not paid on AMC, these are the challenges. But what an AMC gives continuous improvement towards the product in form of product updates, product upgrades, newer versions of the product. So as technology evolves, the product also gets adopted into their organization. Those technology get adopted into their organization. For example, today we are in the age of AI. We are making significant investments in the product relating to AI, or our partners are making. That comes to them as a new version or an upgrade. Now, they get statutory updates and upgrades. If there are some statutory changes, they get those changes incorporated into the product without them taking an effort. Otherwise, they will have to, if the statutory updates and upgrades are not shipped by SAP because the customer is not on maintenance, they would have to develop that customization part of it. They get mainstream maintenance of the product, which means that if there is a level 1 and level 2 support provided by the partner and still the product problem is unresolved, a partner can raise a level 3 support request to SAP, and SAP can get involved into the
subject matter experts here.
Subject matter experts can get involved into the resolving those problems. And we give guarantee of mainstream maintenance for 5 years for every version of the product. So what happens is when a customer is on AMC, they will be in a position to get the evolve as technology evolves, be insulated to the changes that are happening from a statutory or a regulatory point of view. They get insulated and they get protected by SAP providing those aspects. They get the partner support. The partner will be able to support a customer because they are on VAR delivered support only if they are on maintenance. Otherwise, it becomes very difficult for a partner to support a customer. So in net, all these benefits should, I would strongly recommend all our customers to continue their maintenance because it's a very important aspect for their benefit.
So today, if I want to implement SAP Business One, so what is the implementation process involved and how much time does it take to implement a standard SAP Business One module without any add-ons for a standard manufacturing or a trading company? Let's take an example of a trading company or a manufacturing company. What is time involved? What is the processes involved? Or the processes to implement for a trading company or a manufacturing company is the same or it's different?
Let us break this question into two parts. The first part, we will talk about the journey, implementation journey or the implementation process. SAP has provided to its partners a structured methodology for implementing SAP Business One. Now, this is called Accelerated Implementation Program. We are in the third version of the Accelerated Implementation Program. If you look at the broad phases, how an implementation looks like, the first phase is project preparation phase. In this phase, the partner helps the customer to be ready for an implementation. There is a project kickoff. There are do's and don'ts of implementation. There is a core committee formation at the customer's end and the partner's end. A steering committee formation, and generally a rundown on how the implementation would take place in the upcoming times. So that's a project preparation phase. The second phase is the blueprint phase. In this phase, what happens is the requirements of the customer is understood in greater detail by the partner, and the partner prepares a business blueprint that is jointly signed off by the customer and the partner. It is an agreement of the various requirements uh, of the partner, of the customer, that has been documented by the partner. The third phase is the project realization phase. It is this phase that the what has been documented in the business blueprint gets translated into the product. What are the requirements of the customer that is documented in the business blueprint gets converted into the product through customizations and configurations of the product. Then the fourth phase is final preparation, and pilot run. Now, in this phase, what happens is once the configurations and customizations are translated into the product, the customer is asked to test whether it is as per the requirements mentioned. There is training given by the partner to the customers, users, to use the product, the solution. There is a user acceptance testing that is done. And then based on all these aspects, there is a sign off by the partner and the customer that the requirements has rightly translated into the solution. And then there is a pilot run where again, master data, transaction data gets migrated and tested out to make sure, there is no discrepancies and the product is running as per the requirements of the customer. And the final phase is the go live and the support.
phase.
And in this phase, what happens is the customer is asked to, the product goes live or at customer's premises, and the customer starts using the product for their production, for their actual production purposes. That is where they enter the actual transactions. The partner stays with them for the to stabilize the customer while using. Sometimes the customer may have forgotten how to use certain aspects. Partner trains them again, make sure the hand-holding support has been provided rightly to the customer. And based on that, this phase happens till the customer is kind of comfortable in using the product on its own. And once that happens, then the ongoing implementation, post-implementation support kicks in.
What is standard time for this implementation?
Again, it depends on the customer scenario, what needs to be implemented, how much customizations, how much configurations, how much is the expanse of the implementation. Is it a single country, multi-country? Is it a single location, multi-location? There are multiple factors that determine the implementation timeframes. Now, we have seen projects getting implemented even in 8 weeks. And we have also seen projects getting implemented till 6 months. So that varies from customer to customer. So it depends on a lot of other things, but can start off with 8 weeks onwards till about 6 months.
It all depends upon the scale of the project, what we are there.
Scale of the project.
For example, like 20 users case is a different scale. So the timeline might be 3 months. If it is a bigger project, the timeline might be different. And different factors, what you have told.
Different factors. It depends on customer to customer.
So a lot of customers, my existing customers, always ask me, Nilesh, can SAP Business One be scalable? Means today they ask me, I want 100 crore company, for example, and they're running on 25 users. Tomorrow they become a 500 crore company and they want to implement SAP Business One for 100 users or 200 users. Is SAP Business One HANA capable to scale to a 100 user or 200 user customer? Or from a turnover perspective, can it be scaled for 500 crores? Can it be scaled to 1,000 crores also?
From a scalability perspective, SAP Business One is a multi-location solution, multi-country solution. By multiple locations, I mean a company can have multiple branches. A multi-company solution by which I mean SAP Business One can work for multiple companies, multi-country operations, which means that SAP Business One can work for with localizations across multiple countries. It also handles multiple languages. So uh, close to about, I think, 28 languages are supported in SAP Business One. So from that perspective, if a customer is expanding from that perspective to multiple countries or multiple locations, SAP Business One can, or is opening up new companies. If a customer is opening up more and more new companies, SAP Business One can support the customer. If you look at customers doing forward or backward integration, if they are expanding, they are getting into multiple industries. Because our partners have multiple add-on solutions or multiple industry solutions, SAP Business One can work for different kinds of industries. We discussed that a little
Already, yes,
earlier.
yes, yeah.
Plus, if you look at many of our customers, when they started SAP Business One, they started with perhaps 10 or 20 users. And then over a period of time, there are a lot of customers who are using more than 100 plus users or 200 plus users. We also have some deployments which are 500 plus or 500 plus users as well. So from that, and SAP Business One has been working very well for them as well. So from a technology perspective, plus SAP Business One also integrates with multiple other products also. So from a technology perspective, from a user scalability perspective, from a capability of customers expansion perspective, SAP Business One has been doing a fairly good job in that aspect. So from a scalability perspective, I can say yes, lot of scenarios of scalability are managed by SAP Business One.
So we can conclude that ki SAP Business One can be scaled up to more than 100 users also.
Yeah, there have been a lot of cases where we have customers with 100 plus users.
So what is there for the existing customers? Now, as you mentioned, there are 7,500 existing customers in the Indian market running on SAP Business One. So what is the future for them? So they should invest on SAP B1 HANA. So a lot of these customers are on SAP SQL version, SAP Business One SQL version. So they should upgrade to SAP Business One HANA. And what is the benefit of investing in SAP B1 BTP?
SAP Business One on HANA will make sense when they want faster decision making. They want various kinds of reports and dashboards and analytical capabilities. If they want that extended capability, SAP Business One on HANA will make a lot of sense. Plus, if they want to scale without complexity, like we talked about scalability in a few segments before. So if they want to scale without complexity, then SAP Business One on HANA will make a lot of sense.
Can you give more details about SAP HANA? What are the main features of SAP HANA? And why should they go for SAP HANA? SAP Business One HANA, right?
So SAP Business One on HANA basically provides in-memory computing capability. Now, because of this capability, what happens is the database and we are able to manage the database operations and the analytical operations in the same structure. And as a result of in-memory computing, we are able, and because of this, we are able to also provide advanced analytics, which does not take a lot of time as well. Okay, apart from the standard database operations. Plus, we are able to achieve a lot of scale in SAP Business One on HANA. Okay. So what is in it? What does, like I said, what is it in it for the customer? Why should he care about it? The answer is, if they want to expand, they want to future-proof expansion, then HANA will make a lot of sense. And if they want better analytical capabilities without incurring in additional analytical tools, then HANA makes a lot of sense. So SAP Business One on HANA makes a lot of sense from that perspective.
And what about BTP?
Now, what is happening, Nilesh, is we are also looking at evolving technological landscape. Now, in an evolving technological landscape, we earlier what used to happen is a lot of customizations were handled by a partner. But today, customers want to have the power of building their own applications without actually knowing the coding. Okay, so that is one side of the story. Another side of the story is artificial intelligence. They want to adapt to various AI services to make their processes, their systems more efficient. Then there is analytics. They want to look at data data slicing from various perspectives, want to manage a lot of structured and unstructured data, large chunks of data, and still want to have the capabilities of analytics. And the fourth aspect is process automations. They want to still work with multiple systems, but want to automate the processes across these systems. Now, this is the requirements of the technology or customers today.
Okay.
Okay, evolving customers today. Now, what BTP does is all these four things. Business Technology Platform helps you with a low-code development platform where customers can build their own apps. They can integrate these own apps, these apps with SAP Business One or any other product. They can manage multiple integration scenarios. They can build process automations, okay, across multiple applications through robotic process automation. They can build analytics using large chunks of data, structured and unstructured data across multiple systems, still have the power and the capability of providing analytics at a faster scale, faster pace. Right? So all these requirements are handled using the Business Technology Platform. So if a customer is evolving and wants these capabilities to be added to SAP Business One, then SAP Business One plus BTP would make a lot of sense as well.
So as we spoke about SAP HANA as a database, as we spoke about BTP as a platform, so what does SAC helps basically, SAP Analytics Cloud? How does it benefit the existing SAP Business One customers?
So SAP Business One on HANA already provides a lot of capability to the customer from an analytics perspective. Now, when we add SAP Analytics Cloud to SAP Business One on HANA, it powers up the analytical capabilities of SAP Business One. First of all, it gives him instant information across different dashboards. So when a CXO would have all information in one place, so he will have instant situational awareness. He doesn't have to go fishing for information. The second thing is SAP Analytics Cloud also has the capability of ask and answer. Through this, a CXO can ask a simple question like you ask in an AI chatbot, and Analytics Cloud will actually provide him the right kind of responses through SAP Analytics Cloud. Then he also is able to do predictive analysis. Using predictive analysis, what happens is a CXO can simulate and emulate various situations and be proactive in the way he's leading that particular function or that particular business. Apart from that, he also will get one version of truth. As a result, when he takes a decision based on the data, he will have a lot of confidence in taking those decisions. It also helps, Analytics Cloud also has the capability of alerting a CXO on when there are certain exceptions arising. So what happens is, instead of a CXO being buried into day-to-day work or micromanaging, he only gets involved when there is an exception that is arising. Okay. In analytics, we can build rules-based exceptions through which the information can be provided to the CXO. And as a result, he is in a better position to only do exception management and focus on things that matter to him or that requires his attention towards the business and not micromanage. So what happens is, these are the various ways in which SAP Analytics Cloud as a solution powers up a CXO's capability while using SAP Business One.
So here we come to the end of the podcast. I think we have asked almost 16 to 17 different questions to you. And why we ask this question? Because we want to clear the myths of SAP Business One. And we want a lot of insecurities were there regarding the future of SAP Business One. And thank you for clearing it very clearly from the SAP standpoint.
Yes.
And thank you for your time and your support, sir. Thank you so much.
Most
really
welcome.
Appreciate, sir. Thank you.
Yes, we need to expand the footprint of SAP Business One a lot more, and really looking forward to it.
Thank you so much, sir. SAP Business One is for today, tomorrow, and forever. SAP Business One is for every industry and every businesses. Run your business on SAP Business One. Simplify your processes and grow your business with SoftCore solutions. Book your demo today.